downtown Detroit, it's Jason Carr Live with your host, Jason Carr.
Hey, good Monday morning. What's going on? How are you? Fancy a live web stream, do you? Well, you've come to the right place, Governor. How's the weekend, John?
Pretty good weekend.
Pretty good weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, did you know that we're sitting in the presence of WDIV Employee of the Month, Ken Haddad?
TV's Ken.
TV's Ken is the Employee of the Month for the TV station.
Yeah, he's got a brand new parking spot, putting his car close to the door.
I wondered whose roles that was. George Clooney was at the premiere of Suburbicon at the Toronto International Film Festival, also known as TIFF, and this moment was caught on camera. A woman is caressing Clooney's face as one naturally does when presented the opportunity. Of course, this sparked a Photoshop battle.
The picture itself was hilarious. I love the picture. Weird.
A weird what?
Just the machine's doing something.
Good morning, Jennifer, Deborah, Rena, Tammy, Ben, George. I trust everybody had a enjoyable weekend. See, can you take this full? What woman hasn't had the notion, the daydream, the fantasy of caressing the chiseled chin of one George Clooney?
I mean, what man hasn't?
Pet surfing. Animals are surfing in a most unlikely place, hot, dry Arizona. Cat and dog hanging 40, as it were, as they ride the wave. Joey Herrick of the Lucy Pet Foundation says this is the only portable canine surf machine in the world, and can actually be good for kittens too, I suppose. I don't know.
I love this. This is the best video I found this month.
All right, and away he goes. Cranking canine waves. You suppose the dog is aware that he's surfing?
You wonder. You wonder how much he's aware of. It looks like he's having a great time, and he's sporting that shirt.
Australian media reporting that a small great white shark was rescued after it was found floundering on a Sydney beach. According to local media, the shark was found by beachgoers in shallow waters at Manly Beach and was later moved into a beach rock pool to be monitored by authorities. They're not sure why the shark beached itself. It might be injured.
Is Chris Kennedy with us today?
Yeah, he is. He just said, how bizarre.
Manly Beach. I love the name of all these, a lot of these places in Australia. They got the Blue Mountains. Why'd they name them that? Well, because from way back here, they look blue.
James says that we are very much like an anchorman, quote, or I'm sorry, parentheses, Will Ferrell news report.
Good. That's what we're going for. The skeleton dropped his shampoo in the shower.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Unique New York. Unique New York. Panda Watch! Actually, we don't have that, but we have Manatee Watch.
Manatee Watch.
Strangers banded together to help two manatees stranded by Hurricane Irma. The storm sucked the water out of Sarasota Bay on Florida's Gulf Coast, and manatees were stuck in the mud. It's a phenomenon called hurricane bulge. You know, if you have storm surge on one side, you're going to need water as fuel on the backside of that, and that's how the water gets sucked away from beaches, and you end up with scenes like this. Frederick's always inquiring about my halibut habit.
You have a halibut habit?
Only when I go to Sir Cedric's in Windsor.
Right.
Which reminds me, I've got to update my passport. So people rescued the manatees by dragging them onto tarps and then dragging them 100 yards to where they wouldn't be beached. The resident shot video of dry ground after Hurricane Irma had pulled a large portion of water out of Tampa Bay. However, city officials are warning residents that even though the water is temporarily receded. It's dangerous to walk on the bay because guess what? It's going to come back.
Does it all come back at once? Does it rush out there, or is it just kind of a slow, ebbing back to the tide? But these dogs look like they're enjoying it. That's supposed to be water, That's not supposed to be the beach.
Right. Similar scene played out in the Bahamas over the weekend, and it had the interwebs going crazy.
Yeah.
I think everybody at one point this weekend said to at least one friend, "Hey, did you see that video where what's normally underwater is now a beach?"
It's really cool. Really cool stuff. But yeah, the water comes back.
Eventually. Here's raw video of meteorologist Mike Betts trying to stay on his feet, and eventually he says, "Oh, I'm not going to lie, that hurt."
I appreciate the effort for the live report, but my God.
When he struggles here, I don't know if you have the sound.
Yeah, let me turn up the sound. There should be sound for this. Oh, you know what? No, there isn't.
There is a moment where he takes a gut punch right there.
That could end up being about the longest 15 minutes of my life. The gusts are so brief. The highest gust is so brief. It's a quick 2-second punch, right? But the problem is now they're coming more frequently.
Thanks for the live report, Mike.
I am reminded of something that happened probably 20, 25 years ago. Dan Rather was critical of somebody in the media. I wish I could remember who it was, and the person who was being criticized said, "Oh, tell Dan Rather to go wrap himself up around a palm tree somewhere during a hurricane."
This is meteorologist Mike Betts. Hey, Mike, what's the weather like down there? It's going to rain.
Take a look at the video of a sailboat crashing into a seawall in West Palm Beach.
Shot by correspondent Sebastian Kumpulainen.
Kumpulainen.
Of course.
Sebastian Kumpulainen, our man on the scene, recently hired by Local 4.
Yes.
Thousands of foreign tourists who were forced from Cuba's offshore keys last week found themselves feeling the effects of Hurricane Irma as the storm continued to produce heavy winds and waves across the island, but most seemed resigned and relaxed at the prospect of the storm chasing them around the island, drinking and even swimming in rough waters offshore. Resorts have been devastated. The causeway linking them to the main island was cut off in several places, so roughing it, but doing so in a relaxed fashion.
It's kind of funny to see them just sitting on these beach chairs amongst the rubble.
Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay marched the flamingos from their habitat to a safer place before the storm. The birds of a feather did in fact flock together in a line behind the zookeeper. The flamingos stayed inside during the storm. Busch Gardens is home to 12,000 animals.
12,000. I've never been to Busch Gardens, but if I'm going to go all the way to Florida for one of these amusement parks, I'm probably going to Disney World. How do the other ones even survive?
Rich and compelling, now this. Daw. Who's a good puppy?
So I got this one, and then I also got this. Look at this.
Does it have audio?
No, there's no audio. No.
Ow! Ouch. Looks like it would hurt. That almost looks like one of those Johnny Knoxville jackass kind of stunts, doesn't it? I remember that show.
Oh, what a great show! Came on when I was of a certain age, where like you gotta go imitate
and
that
then the
stuff.
movie came out, and
Yep.
then the sequel to the movie came out.
Yeah.
Cheryl Goudreau, funny. Catherine Baker Richards, LOL. An amazing maze, a corn maze in a maize field far, far away has been created to honor the late Carrie Fisher. Evansville, Indiana. A Princess Leia
It's pretty
corn
neat.
maze.
I don't
Or maze
think I've
maze.
ever really been to a corn maze.
Entrance, exit.
What was the price? $4? Okay, $5. That's reasonable. Do you get to take home any corn
For grilling.
for grilling?
Okay, so here we go. Artist Dain Yoon created perhaps the most elaborate fingernail artwork ever, each with a little face and hair.
It's so weird. I mean, did she paint it on? Are they stickers? It's strange. Really strange.
Well, if your goal is to actually attract attention,
She's doing well.
is she getting paid? Stephanie says that is creepy. It looks like Samara from The Ring.
Yeah, yeah.
Amy says, eek.
Let's hope it's not a new trend.
So, John, do you remember where you were 16 years ago today on 9/11?
Yeah, we were, I was in school. It was a half day.
I was also in school. I was teaching my broadcasting students.
Yeah?
And had just begun the school year and didn't even know all their names yet. It was my first year of teaching broadcasting at Davison High School. So I led them out of the classroom with remote gear to go into other classrooms and record video for stories for our morning newscast. And we were in a classroom down the hall, and the TV was on, and we looked up, and Peter Jennings was reporting that a plane, a small plane, a Cessna, I think they said it was, had flown into the side of the World Trade Center, and then the gravity of the day just built from there. And I'll never forget that by the time I got done teaching the class and over to my full-time job at the ABC affiliate in Flint, that it was clear this was much more serious. And then when that second plane hit, I just remember looking at one of the other anchors, Karen, and just seeing this look on her face, and I was, man, what a day.
Yeah.
What a day.
Yeah, we had a half day of school, and that was already planned. It had already been set that we were going to be leaving halfway through, but it ended up working out well that everyone was able to get home and be with family during that day.
Yeah, it's hell of a thing that was visited upon us by terrorists. We are going to have a little show at the top of the hour on TV, live in the D. Again today, filling in for Tati is Kim DeJulio. She'll be joining us for the next 3 days.
How was that? I
A
missed
classmate
it on
of
Friday.
yours, John.
Huh? Yeah.
You guys were classmates. We had a blast on Friday.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
we had a lot of fun. Kim filling in, and we had some laughs, and we hope to continue. Yeah, Tammy Coleman says, Kim did a great job. Indeed, she did.
Stephanie Janelle, happy birthday to your father, George Moore.
Happy birthday, George Moore. Now everybody's wishing George Moore a happy birthday. Jeremy Davis says Kim is great. So we will be seeing you here at the top of the hour on Local 4 and back here live for the midday live on Facebook Live and live streaming on Click On. So everybody have a great morning. We'll see you a little bit later.
Stay classy, Detroit.